everybody, and welcome here in STB Racing League, where tonight it is the Japanese Grand Prix here in Tier 3. But before I go into statistics, some standings, the track in of itself, there's a very key point inside of this qualifying session. It's the fact that Maldi, Alves and Side Effects all going on flying laps at the current moment in time to battle it out for pole position here in this qualifying session. Maldi will come round the Casio triangle here. Can a Ferrari get himself on pole once more this season? Takes a little curb on the inside of that Casio triangle, but even more the exits.
He got away with it.
No.
Oh, no!
He's out! He's out! Oh my! Maldi had a massive moment on the exit of turn 2, and he's going to be absolutely kicking himself after he smashes into the pit wall entry and smashes his front right tyre off of his car. Maldi is out of the qualifying session. The doors burst open for both Side Effects and João Alves to battle it out for P1 here for pole position, going into what I heard earlier, a wet Japanese Grand Prix. My oh my, massive moment.
Alves is down by 7 seconds on my screen.
Yeah, he is on mine as well. So
yeah, he's not
this lap,
he's not ACA's.
it's awful.
Yeah, validated. Side Effects is still on his lap though.
Surely that must be pole then for Side Effects. And yeah, this should be pole for Side Effects once more. My, he's absolutely high flying. Yeah, but he's absolutely high flying.
Looking at Maldi, it just seemed like he took the first right-hander fine, but as soon as he went into the left-hander for the last bit of the chicane, it just seemed like he turned a bit too early, and obviously that curb it's almost elevated, and I think it just pushed his car wide, got him onto the grass, and obviously he's had a bit of a moment, skidding off on the back of the throttle, and obviously lost it. And obviously, having no assists and being on the controller, it's a bit difficult to catch the car going through there. Obviously, he's just lost control somewhat, going into the barriers.
Yep, well, not necessarily a mistake I'm used to seeing from Maldi crashing out into a qualifying session. In fact, I'm not even in STB, I'm used to seeing somebody crash out in a qualifying session. But speaking of this qualifying session, like we have done for quite some time, that is going to be your grid going into what I heard earlier, Matthew. If you don't confirm this or not, it might just be a rumour. A wet Japanese Grand Prix.
Yep, it is due to rain. It should dry out to we're in the middle of the race, so it should be an interesting way to see how people do with the strategy.
Indeed, wet makes everything more interesting. But this qualifying session was interesting in of itself, and I'm here to walk you through what the starting grid is going to be going into this wet Japanese Grand Prix. Side Effects P1, great pole time from him, 129.6, puts himself P1. João Alves very close to him, and he's in P2 with 129.9. From then on, it's Maldi, Alpha, Yilmaz, Eddie, Toman, Tekkas, Lekkers, Chaos, Elite Ping, Memo, Pirillo, Basuan, Trash Panda, Matador, Papa, Rafita, Adri, Moncho, and Jamo did not set a lap time that qualifying session, and he is in the championship standings. And speaking of the standings for the championship, Maldi is P1 with Jamo P2. That gap between the two of them is 40 points. So, with him being all the way back on the grid, it's going to be an absolute monumental moment in STB's history if he's even able to get within reach of this championship battle near the end of the season. But I'll tell you what would be even more of an insane feat is that if Alpine can close up the gap to Ferrari and the constructors, because that gap is 123 points. You heard me, folks. 123 points. Ferrari have absolutely dominated. Yeah, Ferrari have been absolutely, sorry, insane this season. Oh, I've got a croaky throat. But anyways, going on to the Japanese track in of itself, what does it consist of? Well, it's got 18 turns, it's a 5.807 kilometre track. It has crowned 11 champions in its time in real life F1, and also it has a massive slipstream effect going out of Spoo.
Yeah, obviously Japan's quite notorious for some interesting races. Obviously, wet races is one of them. Japan's obviously a bit difficult. And you got one DRS zone around here, so DRS overtakes are less common, but DRS turn 1 is your most common overtaking point as well. You go into 130R into the last chicane. But yeah, it is a wet start to this race, and also I think I said 2022 for mistake. I meant 2020. I think just got disqualified from the formation lap. But yeah, Ferrari obviously dominating that constructors. Obviously they've got the 2 leading championship runners at the moment. Excuse me. So naturally they are going to be quite further ahead. And also,
Indeed.
I think
sorry.
Oh, sorry. Oh, Mercedes off the circuit. Sorry. That was chaos or Memo. I think that was Memo who went off the circuit there. Yeah, I think when you were going down the grid, I think you said Tekker's Leckers. It's Tekker's I can't even say that Altrez. I don't say. I just call them Tekker's.
I think he told me that it was Tekker's Leckers. I think Maudi also said that as well.
It's just because there's an A in there, so I just don't bother saying it. Can't get it wrong, actually.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Hero's also been disqualified, and so has Bhutan.
Full side effects, by the way. Sorry, full side effects, by the way. He's had 5 pole positions. This is his 6th pole position of the season so far. The only man that has even been within close reach of side effects for pole positions is Yilmaz with only 1. So this man has been absolutely insane in qualifying sessions, but that hasn't quite reflected it going into the actual races in of itself,
No.
with Maudi being the actual leader in terms of most wins this season as well. So it seems like side effects is definitely better in qualifying sessions, but Maudi is much more strategic and better inside of the races in of itself. Are we going to see the same pattern occur here tonight, Matthew?
Well, we will see. Obviously, the wet conditions. Obviously, so it's it really can catch people out here. So if it is going to be a moment, it's going to be for the first 2 laps. Obviously, Siderex he's had some moments. Obviously, maybe he's just been picked up by Maldi in the later stages of the race, or I remember in Portugal we had a puncture, so that took him out of any chances of getting a victory there as well. But we couldn't really know if he was going to win the race because he was doing a complete different strategy to what everyone else is doing. Oh, Maldi and Alvarez have been in a collision. They're all running very, very close. All formation that. So, as Alphas will now catch up to the back of side effects. But yeah, we should hopefully see a very spicy race. Obviously, be interesting. No DRS. It's going to be difficult to overtake. I prefer Japan in the rain in qualifying. I prefer that. Quite nice in qualifying. The race is going to be interesting. Overtake mode is going to be very crucial for this race.
Indeed it is. And, well, STB, the races in of itself here in this league are quite interesting, but when you add the spice of rain, it just creates a much more dramatic and much more entertaining Grand Prix in of itself. And we'll make sure to see that entertainment being brought to you live here on Twitch. You can also follow us on YouTube and also TikTok.
Andrew's been disqualified already.
5 red lights. I think that's 5 red lights. It's not.
Not for us.
It's a glitch again.
It will be for the moment.
Green light, go, go, go here in Japan for this wet race. And Alpha,
Maldi's on the grass.
Stop, Maldi, he's on the grass, but he's down to P3. Alpha down the inside here of Alves, but now he can't get a better grip to try and get the overtake on Alves. But Maldi, like you mentioned, was in the grass going into turn 1, almost lost his grip and almost spun. Very dangerous stuff there from Maldi, but an awful start for side effects. Maybe had a little bit of a glitch himself off the start of that Grand Prix. Started P1. He's now dropped down into P4. And now you can just see Maldi's getting really close into Alpha. Alpha with a fantastic start, with P4 going straight up into P2. He almost had a look down the inside of Alves.
Is down to P18 after such a good qualifying. Yeah, pardon me. Mercedes when Memo's around as well. Pirelli's also had the moments from Cartel. Yilmaz has had a terrible start. Not something we wanted to have at the start of this race. That's quite promising qualifying. And also, Alpha's gained 2 places off the start as well, ahead of Maldi and side effects. That's a good start for those for the Alpha Romeo driver.
Indeed, it is. And Alpha also, I don't know if Alves is just burning his ERS. He actually haven't even used the ERS just until now at this point, as Chaos. It has like a little symbol saying it that he's side by side with someone, but he's not. So that's why I pointed him out. Just a little glitch on my screen. Oh, remember, between the two Ferraris, but now Side Effects looks down the inside of Alpha after almost colliding with his teammates after Maudi went wide into that long left-hander, and it looks like Side Effects is into the pit lane. Is that because of wing damage?
It's debatable.
It must be from wing damage.
It's onto hard tyres.
What?
It's not dry. It's not dry already.
Why is he going on hard?
He's either touched the button and he's obviously put on the wrong tyres.
Oh, round the outside, Maudi goes into the SS now, goes Alpha.
What is going on at turn
Maudi
2 was Moncho, Chaos, and Matador, and Pirlo all having a big squabble in it. 2 cars off the circuit there. Sorry to that was something I had to shout out for the moment. Oh, now Alcimai's off the circuit. Trash Panda. He's on the gravel. He's understands wide. He's obviously not quite adjusted to these wet conditions.
Yeah, and Alpha also losing position there to Maudi. He went round the outside into, I think, the second turn of this SS, and obviously inside going into the third. Eddie getting very close here to Elite Ping. Maudi definitely catching up to Alpha, so race pace, it seems like Maudi is definitely quicker. Instantly went from 1.2, he's now got that down to 8 tenths, now 7. So Maudi definitely showing off his pace here in the race, and Eddie is he's practically sitting behind and he's waiting until he can get past Elite Ping. Elite Ping just definitely holding on by a thread really against Eddie here as we go into the left-hander, then into the Cassie triangle, and Pirlo! He's pirouetting into the spoon curve, and he's dropping down position. Side effects, side effects, don't know why. Anyways, Side Effects might be catching up to him soon. But a man who could be catching up to Alves extremely soon is STB Maudi. Surprisingly, in the start of this race, he actually hasn't conserved as much ERS as he would have in a dry race. So how's that going to affect his race into the later stage of the Grand Prix? We will shortly see. But you can see Eddie here is still very close onto the back of Elite Ping. But Matthew, what do you make of that start from Alpha, going from P4 to P2, but then dropping down to P3?
Yep, I was focusing on too much on Maudi because he's on the grass on the left-hand side, and obviously Maudi had a decent race at the start, but obviously got hurt. Obviously, your mic's starting to echo. I'll give you a minute to just reconnect your mic back in, and I'll continue on. But yeah, Maudi's on the back of Elvis. Not lost a bit of time there, but yeah. On the starts, it just seemed like he had a good start, but he's on the grass. I think he just hurt his actual second phase of his start, and that's where Alpha Z is able to carry through, get the inside, and obviously take them both into turn 1. So, yeah. It was definitely a strange start. It was a few little instances, a few little niggles. It just happened to put people off and put people on the grass. But apart from that, it was actually a relatively clean start. A little bit of iffy moments, but nothing too dramatic.
Well, something that might be dramatic here is Eddie's slipstream effect going on to Elite Ping now. They might go side by side going into the Casio triangle here. The Williams versus the McLaren. And the Williams has been itching for the overtake of the McLaren for quite some time. Maybe a dive down the inside of Casio triangle, but no. Stays behind after a little bit of a weave down that straight. Going on to a different straight. Looks like Elite Ping into the pit lane as well. So is he going to go on the hard side as well? I'm just going to spectate him. And we'll have to see. Coming into the pit lane, and
it said mediums.
Interesting there from Elite Ping.
It must be drying out already.
Clearly.
Side effects wasn't too bad for 130R. It doesn't look too bad. Those slicks. I mean, still looks wet visually. It looks wet, but I think the game's a bit weird. It looks looks quite wet. It's actually quite dry still.
Yeah.
It's weird how it works. But yeah, I think it actually is drying out. And it's being hard, so it doesn't actually look too bad.
Yeah, and I do think that it is actually occurring to the drivers that it is getting drier. I mean, we were both very surprised with the fact that Side Effects was even considering pitting on lap 2, was it? A very interesting strategy from Side Effects, and
yeah.
with the new wave of people coming into the pit lane, where do you see him now back up on the grid? Do you see him P2, P3, or do you see him in the mid-table?
He's behind Elite. Elite was like P6. So he's gonna be at the bottom end of the points the way this is going.
Yeah, I mean,
it's quite dry now, but I'm sure these guys will pick this lap.
Yeah, surely. So I'm just going to see Alves here, but I'm actually going to switch my attention here to Batuhan. I believe that's how you say it. Please tell me if I'm wrong, by the way.
Batuhan. Yeah, I can't really think.
Yeah, it looks like
pits.
Maldi, Alves, and Alpha, and Eddie's staying out, so he's
set of hards from Maldi. I think that might be the correct choice.
Yeah, hards to mediums are definitely better strategy than mediums to hards.
Mediums for Alves. Alpha's also on the set of mediums. Jamo's on a set of hards. So we've got a mixture of choices here. I personally think the hards is the better option. It just keeps the strategy open. The mediums, you're committing to a 2-stop now. But the hards, you can open yourself up just to 1-stop. And then Alves is spatting out the pit lane! Oh no! And that's commiserations of the driver that puts Maldi in net P1. And oh no, Alves has binned it out of the corner. He's obviously lost grip. It's still a bit greasy out on the circuit. And he's put himself in the barriers. Whether he's got damage or not, I do not know. His front wing looks intact. But he's lost a lot of time.
Yeah, I mean, massive moments now in this Japanese Grand Prix. I mean, I saw a Williams on my screen into a wall, and I was just like, oh, I wonder who's that. I went, oh, who's that? And then you pointed out Alves, and instantly, my jaw was wide open. Big mistake that was from Alves. And now, Maldi seems like after, of course, we have Chaos and Eddie pitting. It seems like it's a ball. Down the inside. Side effects goes on Jamo. They're side by side on the exit of the hairpin. And look at that. Just up ahead, you can see Bahutan side by side with Alves. Alves gets that done and dusted. But now it's Maldi versus Alpha. And it looks like Maldi regains the position after Alpha previously overtaking him. And now you can see Chaos struggling on those intermediate tyres. But now Alpha's going to enjoy double slipstream going into the left hand and then going into the Casio triangle. Side by side, Chaos is with Jesus. Chaos is with Alpha, and now going into Casio triangle here. Oh, that's a massive jump to the grass. He goes. That was missed his braking zone massively. Going into the Casio triangle, went into the grass. My oh my, massive moment there for Alpha as Chaos peels into the pit lane. Call Me Eddie does as well. So now Maldi re-inherits P1 into the Grand Prix now with Elite Ping closely following behind.
So he re-inherits. He was never first in the first place. So, but yeah.
Oh yeah.
But Maldi's on his hards, and I think this is the way to go because these tyres. Normally it's about you can do like a 15, 16, 17 laps on these, but I think these tyres can do about 20, 22 laps on these tyres. You're pushing it, but I think it's possible. I think it just keeps your strategy open. The mediums, you're committing to a 2-stop. The hards, it just keeps your options open. You can pick the soft later on, you can pick back onto the mediums, or you can go to the end. It's up to you.
Well, now side effects, sorry, going to cut you off here. Side effects almost side by side with the Kumiedi, and it's bomb drafting going into the hairpin round the outside. Bhutan goes. Oh, those side effects, and it gives him a poor exit. Jamo's looking to sneak up the inside. That was, I was on board with side effects, and instantly I saw an Alpha Tauri to my right hand side, and I was wondering who in the hell is that? It was Bahutan, maybe missed his braking, so maybe he was actually looking for the overtake there. I'll tell you who is looking for the overtake though. Alpha on Elite Ping. They might go side by side into the left hand of it. Oh, you could just see Elite Ping weaving down the straight. Still giving that slipstream though. Going into Casio Triangle. Massive moment there from Elite Ping riding onto the curb, going wide, but it seems like he actually gained time off of that. Going into the Casio Triangle, now to the exit. Seems like Side Effects is still there with Call Me Eddie, but it seems like that battle will come to an end very soon, as now he'll have DRS, of course. But now you can see Alpha side by side, alongside, now ahead of Elite Ping. Now you can see Side Effects could be looking for the exact same maneuver. Side by side he goes with Gomiedi going into the first turn, inside lane, proving better for the Ferrari, and he gets the maneuver done and dusted. He's up into P5, but Elite Ping is definitely not one to give up on a battle here against his fellow medium runner, Alpha, and that really does play into the hands of Maldi.
No, Elite's off. He's off at the place to Albaz.
Yeah, massive moment there from Elite Ping as well, like you just mentioned, and it doesn't really seem like it affects the race in a whole amount. He's still there. He's still got that DRS. But back to what you were saying, Matthew.
Well, yeah, I was just starting off. I was about thinking, I don't know what else is going to be important was about. But I was about to mention about Elite Ping, even though he had DRS on STB, didn't have the straight line speed on Alpha. Alpha seems to be running lower wings from what it seems like after looking at that. Or whether she's going to overtake, I don't know. But it definitely seemed like he made an overtake a little bit easier than you would have thought it would be, considering both cars had DRS. So one to look out for Alpha Z is his straight line speed on braking, making her way past Maldi.
Indeed. And also, Maldi here saved a lot more.
Oh, he's inside!
They
collided!
touch! They touch! 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings for that massive lunge. I mean, I think he cut the corner because of that. Missed his braking zone. He was forced to go down the inside. They touched tyres. Alpha almost spins. 3-second time penalty. Not really awarded. But Maldi now can really breathe a sigh of relief after that one. He has got the massive game in hand here. 3-second time penalty for Alpha after a ludicrous dive bomb.
Alpha doubles round at the Picasso triangle section.
Indeed.
We'll see that a few times, I think, this race. But yeah, I did say I'd make it interesting this rain.
Oh, Alpha's getting so close here. I'm so sorry for cutting you off, but there's so many moments here between Maldi, Alpha, and Alves. Like, I just can't ignore it. I mean, for the top spot, there's a massive moment between, I think it was Maldi and Alpha. They both went slow. And Alves was looking to go down the inside potentially there. Oh, late in the braking zone goes Alpha, but he doesn't go for the overtake. Well, he went for the overtake, Alves, but he couldn't finish it off. But going into Spoon now, who's going to get the better exit on who? Is Alves going to go side by side with Alpha, or is Alpha going to go side by side with Maldi? Questions occurring. Questions occurring. Answers will be delivered soon. ERS wide open for Alves. He'll go side by side with the Alfa Romeo here. Side by side they go into the left kink, and it seems like Alves just gets the manoeuvre done and dusted. Will Alpha battle with him? Maybe down the inside into Cassia triangle? No, he stays behind. But now going on to the straight. Is Alves going to get the DRS? Well, of course he is, but is he going to get past with the DRS is what I meant to say. Maldi has considerably more ERS than João Alves does. And he does, yeah, exactly, almost full battery for the Ferrari. I mean, he's just saved up so much. He does that quite a lot whenever he's in P1 and the two behind are battling. And side effects down the inside, Ollie Pinger, they're going to go side by side into the S's now. Ferrari on the outside, now the inside. Looks like the McLaren could get back on that inside lane and looks for it again. But it looks like the overtake is pulled off for side effects. And now on to these hards. Maybe the grip is just occurring for him. But Alves is getting so close to Maldi now. I'm not giving you any time to speak because there's so much occurring in this Japanese Grand Prix. Maybe Alves will go down the insides here. It's so close to each other. And no, he stays behind.
Off. And it's caused a safety car.
Oh no! Safety car is out, and that means
bit of orchestration. Do they pit? Because these mediums can pit for a set of hards if they want to. That's if. But these mediums are still good condition, so whether they want to stay out or I don't know. Because it is very early. But that thing is, do they want to go on those hards? Or do they want to just wait later on? But you have to wait. Maldi doesn't want to pit again because he's already on his set of hards. He can't pit for another set of hards.
Yeah, so a bit of freedom, you could say, for the medium runners, as they can either go onto the hard tyres, like you said, they can stay out on the good.
I don't think they'll.
Sorry.
I don't think it's the risk still needs. I don't think it's a risk willing to take. To be honest, there's too many cars behind them to worth losing position. Side effects may be questionable because he's on 7 above hards, but like I said, those mediums are not going to last that long. He's in the pits.
Oh, it looks like they are both in the pits. Alpha and João Alves. Also,
all the medium runners are in the pits. Apart from Traspena's decided to stay out. I think he's gone for track position here. Could be actually a good way to think about it. As the McLaren's right in front of Fita. That's a late ping. But yeah, it's definitely interesting. Obviously, Maldi's got a bit of a gap. We don't know, like I say, these guys on fresher hards, but they've got to make all those places back up now. Maldi, this just makes his one stop a lot more easier in terms of his tyres. It's just going to help keep his tyres in check. And saying with side effects, although these tyres are very old, I don't think they'll go to the end. It's pushing it for him. And Eddie and Jamo as well. So that will really help these guys get these tyres to the end. I think these guys will probably stretch it to the end of the race. All I need to do now is just hope they keep ahead of all the other drivers. I think maybe Alves and Alpha might have a good chance to get up to P2, 3. When it gets to side effects and Maldi, I think it'll get a little more difficult.
Yeah, and Sorry, I was going to mention side effects. I mean, this is like the perfect thing to happen for him. He's going to be on old rubber too, Maldy. But I mean, if this Ferrari 1-2 is here, the championship will most likely be wrapped up. I mean, it probably is wrapped up right now, to be honest. But I mean, a 1-2 for Ferrari right now would pretty much put the cherry on top of a beautiful cake they have structured. So we'll see if they can get this 1-2. But I would like just to run through the grid order now, as everything has there's been a lot of things going on in this Japanese Grand Prix. Here's how the grid is going on so far. So Maori and Side Effects taking up P1, P2. It's all red up top, like we have seen for most of the time this season. Cormieri's in P3, Jim in P4. It looks like Trash Panda, Batuhan, and Alpha all in P5, P6, P7 with time penalties. Elite Ping P8, Joe Alves P9, Rafita P10, Moncho P11, Yomaz P12, Chaos P13, Memo P14, Taman P15, Tekis Alekas 16, Trash Panda, is he going into the pit lane? He is. Papa 17, Matador 18, and Pirillo is P19, and Trash Panda into the pit lane. We'll see. And yeah, going on to the hard set compound tyres now. So that's 11 seconds on the clock for him. So his race has gone to a mess. But we're going to shortly get this safety car in, and we'll go green once more in Japan, I'm assuming, at the end of this lap. So you don't want to miss this, as we next have the restart of the safety car live here on Twitch.
Yeah, it'll be very interesting to see now. Obviously, a lot of people have done the strategies. It actually makes it a little bit less exciting for strategies now. Oh, there's a Haas! Oh, Rafita, he went wide through that right-hander. He was onto the grass there on his left tyres and almost lost it. And off-board camera looks very dramatic. More dramatic than it probably looks like on board. Oh, the Elite Pig's round! He spun into the first deck. Then he's basically set the car to track. That's a 5-second time penalty to his name. The Haas has got a legal overtake. Cartel. Elite Pink's trying to overtake these cars. We can't do that. Just think illegal overtakes if you just overtook them. No, I don't know how this works. I don't know what is being done. But anyway, yeah, Elite Ping, yeah, you can't reset the car to the track. That is going to be an instant given 5-second time penalty to do that, purely for reasons to not cut people off. Because it just teleports your car back onto the circuit. On the racing line, it can get people off. As we're going, does things get a bit cloudy? I don't know if it's got cloudier or whether it's still cloudy from the rain. But Maldi's was very close to the safety car going to spoon. Okay,
yeah, he was.
This lap.
Yeah, and he was. Yeah. So safety car, like you said, should be in this lap. Everybody's bunched up. So if it goes out one more time, I'm going to be quite mad. to be quite frankly honest with you. So yeah, safety car is in this lap. Ferrari lead the way then in this Grand Prix. P1 and P2, they've been absolutely fantastic so far. Are they going to continue this great run of form here in Japan by potentially getting another 1-2 on the board? We find out shortly. Maldi now will go full throttle very soon, but let's see when he will. And he's got a really restart, but Side Effects is right there with him. ERS being used. They might be side by side going into the first turn here. Here's Side Effects. Can he get the overtake on Maldi? Maybe round the outside into the first turn. They go now. It looks like Maldi's he went deeper into the first turn. And Side Effects able to still go side by side with him. It's yes as we go now. The two Ferraris go side by side. They're side by side no longer. And it seems like Maldi's just been able to hold on to P1 on the restart. The safety car only a thread, but now Side Effects is looking to cut off that thread and go straight back at him here. Maldi, it looks like he's absolutely terrible from the restart. He's not quick whatsoever. Side Effects is the clearly better pace on Maldi here, going into the hairpin. Are they going to get close enough to where Side Effects can look for a move? No, he stays behind, but on the restart of the safety car, Side Effects and Maldi going side by side here on lap 12. Absolute tensions building up in the Ferrari garage.
Yep, it does look like he's carrying a little less wing on in his car as well. He had a very good run, got into the slipstream, a bit of overtake, and he just basically breezed alongside him. Going to turn one, it just seems like he just had a bit extra, bit trimmed down on the downforce just to help him. It did seem like that. But the Turbox is on the oldest tyres. His tyres are going to go off earliest. Oh, these guys are going to shine. He's got carrying an extra 5-6 miles an hour into chicane. Oh, he's hit the back of Marty! And he's hit him! Oh, no!
Oh no! Massive moment in the Japanese Grand Prix! Maldi has gone round! A hit and run maneuver from side effects, and Maldi goes round into the Casio triangle! Well, I repeat, Maldi goes round into the Casio triangle as he's now forced to go side by side with Yilmaz for now only a measly P9 after taking a 3-second time penalty. Side effects, the tensions were boiling up after the restart of the safety car. Those tensions have burst through to rage for both of the Ferraris, and now Maldi is still side by side for Yilmaz, but oh my, drama here in Japan as side effects makes Maldi go sideways and pick up a 3-second penalty. Maldi's in a gravel because a lot of times on the inside from Rafita. He's now dropped down even more positions. He's now in P14. He's going to get double slipstream going into the hairpin. But my, two massive moments occurring for Maldi in this Grand Prix.
Oh my God!
It's three. He's now slowed down again. There's another massive moment for Maldi. Oh my, 3 moments from P1 to P15.
Oh, that's not enough as well.
My, he's now up to P30, but jeez Louise, what have I just seen? That is absolutely horrific stuff. Detrimental to Maldi's reign at the top. Even though he still has that 40-point gap, Maldi has been spun by side effects. He went side by side with Rafita, causing him to go onto the gravel, and then he went onto the grass once more when he had round the outside. I think that was Trash Panda. But Maldi from P1 to P13, massive moment.
The hairs are standing on its ends at the moment, and I'm not joking. I can't believe what I just witnessed. I am absolutely in shock at the moment. I just can't believe it. And remember, the problem with Maldi now, he's on older tyres compared to everyone around him. So everyone around him is going to have stronger pace on tyres in better condition. So it's going to be very difficult for Maldi to find a way through. I just don't know what happened. I know he had a bit of an incident there at Maldi. I don't know why he was losing so many places when after he span. I don't know why he was losing so much time. I don't know why he didn't defend. I don't know why he used overtake, try and defend. That's what baffled me. If he actually used some of his overtake into turn 1 to defend his position on, I think it was the Aston Martin of Moncho, I think he would have stayed ahead of him. But the fact he's let everyone through and then suddenly side by side with Yilmaz, and one of them should have backed out because it was never going to work out. All of them made contact, and now Maldi's all back down there, down in P13. But yeah, I don't know. There was way too much going on at the moment, and the Red Bull's off as Tekker's off at Spoon. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what caused that. Maldi's penalty is questionable because obviously he was returning back onto the circuit. Obviously trying to return on a safer section. That might have to be reviewed. If he was out of his warning, he could probably get removed. If it's a 3-second time penalty, again, it can be removed. But we will see. But Maldi's now out of the points and carrying a penalty at the moment in time. This is going to be a very difficult, very, very hard second half of the race for Maldi.
What? I mean, a very common phrase I chuck up when I'm in comms is, what have I just seen? But with that moment, I just was so speechless. I mean, I didn't sound like I was speechless. I absolutely rattled the eardrums of everybody. But I couldn't believe what I was witnessing. I mean, that is just, what I understand, by the way, Matthew, if you did see the race that he had last season, people were referring to him getting spun and having contact with somebody last Japanese Grand Prix, but still winning, I heard. I'm not too sure on that, though. I might be just stirring up some random rumours and you might be going to yourself, what is this crowd thinking? But anyways, oh no, I've just noticed something. JMO, this is massive for him. He's in P2, 18 points. That's going to be 18 more points over 2 rounds. That's going to be 22-point gap going into next round. So this is now put JMO right back into the battle here for the championship fight. This is just what JMO needed. And I did mention before this race, Matthew, I did talk to Maldi that he was being way too overly confident. And if he's boasting off about being 40 points up in the standings, then it might just come to bite him in the backside. And quite literally, side effects did that. put him round, and then he went side by side with the Yellow Man.
No, he's round again!
No, what on earth? No way, he's round again, he's got the corner, what is he doing? Oh my lord, that is surely it for his championship, well, the championship dream, that's surely it for his victory here in Japan. His race has gone to absolute mushy banana. I cannot believe what I have just seen. Maldi, he's had an absolute mare. There's no way he can recover from this, surely.
I mean, he was stuck in the back of the train as it was. It was very difficult to get past a train like that with all those cars ahead of you. But now it's just made it even worse. Now he's lost about 4 places. Again, the level penalty that might be questionable later on. But I'm absolutely baffled. I don't know. It just seemed like I don't know. I didn't see it. I just saw Ferrari stopped at the triangle. I just saw the Ferrari stop. Whether there was a collision and maybe him trying to make an overtake or something, I don't know. But it seems like
down the order. Another massive moment in the championship
standings. Going on.
Jamo's moving down the order. Is he going to be without any points in this Grand Prix? He's down to P10. Went from P2 to P10. What is going on in Japan? Crazy drama here in this Japanese Grand Prix.
Safety car. Will people pit? Side effects has to pit. I don't think there's much of a choice. Everyone else is coming to the pits as well, so it's not like anyone can just jump ahead. Maldi could choose to stay out, but I don't think it's really going to be worth it on 11 up hold highs. Chaos has binned it at turn 3. A bit of a weird place to bin it, not going to lie. Everyone's going to come in, surely. Softs, tyres
someone's
for
lost
side
their
effects.
front wing into going into the pit lane, by the way. Someone lost their front wing going into the pit
lane.
lane.
Saw that in Tier 2. I think it was I don't know who it was actually. So we did have an end plate loss. But
well, I can tell you.
Straight on.
Well, there's not many things that I can say that I'm certain about in this Grand Prix. But what I am definitely certain about is that this is definitely going on my TikTok. What is this race? Just Maldi gonna go has massive collisions, which drops him down the order like 3 times in a row, and then JMO spins, dropping all the way without any points on the restart of the safety car. Now we've got 10 laps left. As a safety car coming out, my head is absolutely spinning, and I'm sure Maldi's head is absolutely full with red of anger because he has. I don't know. He's just. I've never seen anything like this. Like in my 7 months of well, soon to be 7, but in my 6 months of commentary, which doesn't sound like a long time, but whilst I have done my commentary, I've genuinely never ever seen drama like this in a Grand Prix ever. This is unbelievable in terms for championship. I mean, it doesn't really matter because Jamin is out the points, but when it seems like a few laps ago when he span 3 times, I mean that was the most ridiculous thing in terms of championship shifting point of views or ish I have seen in quite some time. 6 months precisely, like I've mentioned before. I mean, it's just what on earth? My head's spinning. My head's spinning.
Cartel doing on the feature?
Not too sure, but
one of them's got front wing down. Obviously, I think Feeta's got no front wing. But he's driving very slowly, and obviously, I think Cartel's trying to get past, and obviously, he's getting legal overtake. He's trying to let Cartel Feeta back through, but Feeta wasn't overtaking him. I think that was going on there. Feeta needs to get a move on. I don't know why he's not going flat out from here. Yeah, he's got no front wing, but you have to lift off. Trashy Panda's in the pits. He always seems to be a late going to the pits here. Maybe it was because Moncho was in the pits as well, but he's going to lose a lot of places. Now, they'll jump behind. They'll probably come behind Maldi and Cartel. He's actually got a 5-second time penalty as well, so that's going to hurt even more. Should gain Maldi.
And he's crashed up the Grand Prix. Rafita's crashed up the Grand Prix. I've just what into the pit lane. I'll tell you what happened, Matt. I was on it. I was on board with him.
Don't mention that because that's going to give me flashbacks from last season.
No.
Because that happened last season. Got front wing damage on the very near to the end of the race. Crashed it in the pit lane and the barriers, the orange barriers, just it splits off from the main part of the racetrack. It's very easy to do that. You can run wide in the front wing.
It wasn't even there that he did left. It was like the bit where it was orange and then transfers into the white. That's where he crashed out. Just crazy.
Didn't I show you that clip from me from last season, me crashing in the pit lane? That's why I showed you that. Unless it's somebody else. I'm pretty sure I showed you that.
I'm sorry.
I don't remember
Your
it. I mean,
microphone your microphone cut out when you said crashing. At least it did for my ears. And it said when you said crashing, it like cut out the sh. So it sounded like you were saying I was. Did I mention when I was sending you a clip when I was crapping in the pit lane?
Crashing in the pit lane. Crashing in the pit lane, or bashing into the barriers that splits the racetrack from the pit lane, just where the orange barriers are. And obviously, no front wing. It happened earlier. The only thing it was when I was there, it was because the car ahead was actually blocking my view from the pit lane. But Rafita's done that completely on his own.
Oh no! Wait, I did see that. Yeah, you were absolutely livid because of that.
Yeah, but I had no front wing, and then again lost my wheel because I couldn't, because I was blind going into the pit lane. I missed it. Just safety car. He's making a lot of a gap, coming Eddie, but safety car's not in though. I don't know what he's doing. The safety car's not in. Why is he making a gap?
What on earth? Is safety car in now?
No. Because yellow flags are still out.
Yeah, I don't know why he's going to be 10 car lengths behind, and that's going to be a time penalty, surely.
I don't want to question about that. I don't know why he's doing this gap for. Shouldn't be doing that. Should always keep the theme 10 car lengths between the safety car. That might be a penalty, you know. You can't do that.
Yeah, that's definitely going to be a penalty for me, Eddie.
It gives people deltas, and it really throws everything off. Look at this gap. Look at everyone's broken up now. Sound effects on soft tyres. I don't know if it's really going to work out. I mean, yeah, it's had a... The thing is, he's lost all that his best tyres, and he's under the safety car conditions. But it does help him save those tyres. But still, only very difficult towards the end of the race for him. If I was somebody like Maldi or something, I would pit for a set of softs or something, and just hopefully find a way through.
To be honest, I don't have a foothold in my commentary. I'm just my head's spinning. I still can't believe what I just saw like 10 laps ago. Well, not 10 laps ago, but like 3 laps ago when Maudi goes run free. I mean, it went to a point where I must have made at least around three ears pop with bloody, surely, because I've rattled the eardrums of practically everybody watching the stream. Because I was yelling so loud, I could not believe it. I mean, I had too much energy inside of me to not release it. It was, I mean, Maudi probably had a lot of energy in terms of anger as well. So, yeah, and he almost lost it. He's also got 6 seconds as well, by the way. I think we've been overshadowing that fact. We did say that one of those 3-second penalties should be easily removed. I'm not sure about the other one as well. So that's for the second one. I do feel like it's a bit iffy.
I know he's going to lose a lot of places, but at the moment in time, we've got Papademos is currently on the podium at the moment. Pirlo P4.
Oh yes!
This is going to be spicy with Papademos and Pirlo on old hards. It is going to be chaotic. Side effects is going to be all over.
Get a podium.
Papademos is about 5 seconds off the pace around people around him right now, and so Pirlo.
Anyways, but the reason the safety car is now occurring after so much drama just before it came out. We now go green once more in Japan. What a restart that is for Elite Ping. He's alongside the Williams going into the first turn. He's got the overtake, and now Primo's moving down 2 positions, now 3. He's been eaten alive by everybody behind him. Somehow Papademos, now he's gone wide and now down the inside. Side effects goes, he's still in P4 though, he's still hanging on for dear life. Alves round the outside, now inside, he gets everything done and dusted. Pirlo is still there in P6. It seems like that battle has come to an end. You can see Alpha getting very close here to Pirlo, maybe getting an overtake on his teammates very soon.
Maudi pit for softs? Why is Maudi pit for softs?
What?
Okay, Maudi's race has just gone for, unless he's going for fastest lap or something, I don't know what else it'll be for.
What, Jamie? Falling down the order of score! JMO! He's gone round again! What is going on in Japan? We've got another spin for a championship!
Oh, he's gone round again!
It's how he's gone round! What is going on in Japan? I'm holding on for dear life for my chair mats! What is going on in Japan? Another key moment in this Grand Prix! And JMO spinning twice on the track! And now it's going to be battle between Maudi and JMO
coming back on the circuit! Oh,
no!
that's close. Oh, there's clear for Pirlo on Mappa Devils. Oh, there's the grass. That's one on the grass. There's Moncho on the grass.
Side effects on a leaping.
Brake checks.
So close.
What is going on? Oh, Red Bull's just teleported on the circuit. That's Techers. Oh, there's crash. Oh, what's going on? I don't know what's going on. Moncho's been spun round. Everything's fucking up.
I'm going to have to interrupt you there because side effects going down the inside on a leaping into the first turn now, and this entertaining to say the least. Japanese Grand Prix actually leaping, massive moment going into the S's, almost spinning, massive moment there for a leaping. He almost spun, and that would have been race defining basically, and that would have shown him a it again. And you can see Kobe Eddie almost losing his front wing because that's how he's kept it all intact.
Lost right now.
Another big moment there from leaping. My oh my, is his Wi-Fi okay? What is going on with him there? I'm losing my voice. I've got to hand over to
There's cars
you.
off the circuit. It's Alvarez's round. What is going on with the championship rivals? They're all making mistakes. Jamo, it's like the top three are now last apart from side effects. All at the bottom. Side effects is Alvarez is retired. Where's that going to cause a safety car? I don't think so because it hasn't come out yet. Yes, cars haven't stopped on circuit, but everything's happened. I don't know what is going on. All the top runners have all made mistakes at some point in this race, including side effects. Side effects just happened to regain himself and put himself back into P1. Alvarez is now retired. There's no safety car to, unfortunately, for Maldi. But oh my god, Papadopoulos and Pirlo are still in the points at the moment. They're making big gaps here. They're making really split up the field, which is actually a little bit sad. But at the same time, it's really suffering. Maldi
It goes. Alpha there. I was on board with Alpha because I was about to watch him go onto the short straight and down into the first turn. And then I looked to my right and I see Memo with a massive nose down the inside. He gains a 3-second time penalty because of it. He's onto the grass going into the first turn. What's he doing there? Seconds.
There's a massive crash between Chairman and Papa Devils. Down the straight. It was massive. Safety car is out.
That's a safety car.
And this is Maldi's. Maldi be loving this. What? I just went on to the Alpine. Sorry, not the Alpine. Well, the Toman, and all I saw was cars crashing into the barriers. I mean, I know Papadopoulos was obviously lacking in pace compared to everyone around him, but I think he's just been caught out with the speed difference. But there's just a massive crash going down the main straight. Oh my! I am lost for words. I don't think I can handle the turn. I don't think I can handle anymore. My voice box is going to go. I need to save this voice the rest of my life. I don't have time to losing it. STB commentary 2 times a week.
Oh Jesus! Well, I'm pretty much hired to do so, and I have done. I think lap 16 is where I started to lose. I've now officially lost it. But also, by the way, this is. Why is Mount in the pit lane again?
He's just trying to get a fresh set of tyres on. He's already used 2 sets of softs already.
I mean, Maldi, his race has gone to an absolute mare. He might get that 6-second removed, though. It depends on...
Will everyone else pit? Elite might pit. He's on 12 whole hards, but at the same time, do you really want to sacrifice your position with 4 laps to go after this lap? But 5 laps to go after this lap. He's diving in. He dodged it, and he's been gone into the pit lane. He's thrown off. Pirlo's gone round. He's made a mistake.
No, he hasn't.
And I think Eddie has just been baited. Unless he was going to plan to go himself. He is on 7 whole hards. But if that might... I'm not sure if this was planned. But it was a very good chance he's just been baited into the pit lane. By Elite Ping.
Cheeky.
Elite Ping just died back to the left-hand side. Out of the pit lane. At last second. And whether Eddie just didn't react in time or whether it was planned. Like I said, he was on 16, 17 lap old hards. So... But yeah, that's dropped Eddie down to P11. Toman's in the pits as well, and so is Papadopoulos. Maldi's got a lot of time to do. If I was Maldi, I wouldn't push too hard, because obviously you want to keep some tyres and there's some freshness on those tyres. You don't want to burn them out, because the softs will go off very quickly. If I was Maldi, I would actually pit in the lap later. Just so you end up burning tyres out that you're going to be using for the rest of the race. But then again, it's not a big deal at the end of the day. But yeah, this helps side effects with his tyres as well. Because obviously you put on those softs quite early on. There's a lot of dirty cars. A lot of cars.
I would like to mention, by the way. Oh, this is pretty huge actually for the championship still. Because Side Effects is going to get free 25 points. Let's be honest, I don't see JMO getting into the points and then increasing the gap so much.
He's on fresh softs. He's on fresh softs and he's got no penalties. He's only 2 places off the podium. He's on fresh soft tyres. Everyone else is on slightly worn mediums. I think he's got a good chance of getting some grabs. I think he's got a P5s on the cards here. Matador's going to be quite easy picking, probably. Bhutan's not even racing. Pirol's going to lose places on those hards. I think he's got a good chance of getting some good points here, I think, still. Maldi maybe is a bit more questionable because he's got some quick people ahead of him on the set of softs. It's going to be difficult for Maldi.
Yeah, well, yeah, what I was going to say, though, is if JMO doesn't get points and Side Effect still wins this Grand Prix, Alpha, what's happening with him? Because it's not time to go into the pit lane for him. I don't know. Anyways, if still JMO can't get any points from this Grand Prix, then it would mean that Side Effects would gain 25 points and only be 50 points off of Maldi for the championship standings instead of the 40 we had going into the race with JMO versus Maldi. So if there's what is Matador doing? Down the inside Matador goes. Sorry. What's happening?
He just gained 4 places and lost about 5. I don't know.
Yeah, very, very odd from Matador, but let's be honest, it's definitely not the... Well, let's be honest, it's definitely not the most odd thing we've seen from this Grand Prix so far. I mean, chaos everywhere on the track.
I don't think Memo gets the memo about staying on the circuit.
Oh, it's gonna be in the middle.
Pirlo,
what is going on?
What is going on? There's cars off the place, there's cars off the circuit. It's the same, not even a racing speed. Also, just before we start to the restart, just get the music in the mic and hear myself slightly.
Yeah, sorry, Mum.
Just while we got under the safety car.
There's a...
Yeah. Oh, what is
Memo's
Alpha
onto the what is going on? Because Memo... What are the... What?
He's over something now. Alpha Z you can't be doing. You can't be going side by side in the safety car. It's a clear rule in real life. Can't be doing that. Yeah, I just wanted the mic to reset just to make sure it doesn't get worse later on. Just so we have... Well, I may as well disconnect it while we're under the safety car conditions. Maldi's finally caught up to the back of the safety car here. And he has got 15 cars to overtake. The grid is currently in the Ferrari sandwich right now.
I was going to say, literally, in a Ferrari sandwich. But anyways, here we go.
He's got about 20 car lengths to the cars in front of him.
So, Side Effects here, leading for Elite Ping. And then we shot the safety car. They've had a battle before Side Effect, Elite Ping. We'll see what happens though. I mean, I can't predict anything because this Japanese Grand Prix has been absolutely insane. And Side Effects has got an massive moment for Elite Ping in the background on the restart of that safety car. And now Alpha going side by side with his teammates. Pirlo here. And into the first turn, is there going to be maybe 3 wide between the Haas car? No, that'll be too crazy to commentate over. And it seems like down the inside, Alpha went on Pirlo, sorry, and the overtake is done and dusted there for the Alfa Romeo on the Alfa Romeo.
Panda, Matador, and Matador's off. Contact was made. Matador's dropped down a place. That's everyone's been promoted upper place from behind. Panda went around the outside in turn 3, made it a bit of side to side, wheels will contact.
Memo, what's happening with Memo?
Memo hasn't got the memo about keeping his car in a straight line.
Well, Jimmy's now back into the point lane.
Maldi's already up to P13 after all that. Obviously, mainly because of instances, but that's still promoted up to P13. Jamo's already in the points.
And speaking of Jamo, around the outside, he's looking to go here. Of course, he's looking for the overtake. Done and dusted. You can just see up ahead the Aston Martin overtaking the Alpha Tauri. That was Trash Panda on Batuhan. And you can just see it at the spoon now. It looks like the overtake is not going to be done there by Jamo. And you can just see that Maldi is now looking. Oh no, he got one! Oh my lord, he almost lost it on the exit of Spoon. Oh my word, I had a brief heart attack because I thought he was going to go into a wall. Batuhan looking to go side by side. Never mind.
Yilmaz and Pirlo.
Massive moment, Montrose in the wall. And he's lost part of his front wing.
He's on full speed.
He's why not
colours.
get out the Grand Prix? What is going on? This is absolutely insane Grand Prix here.
He's just
What
himself on
on
purpose.
earth?
Yeah, he was not happy with that. Jono overtakes Bhutan's AI. No safety car. It's too late for the safety car. He's only got 2 laps to go.
This is just
Alpha Z's now on the back of Elite. He's obviously on much better tyres.
Well, I mean, it would be quite huge if Mauri could actually do get a point here.
Yeah, he needs some damage limitation, I think. But he's got a couple of quick cars ahead of him now. He's got Tekers and Eddie ahead of him. Oh, he's made a mistake with Williams. Eddie's off the circuit. Never mind. Ignore myself. That's one car out of the way. Mauri's now in 2 points. I'm sure Mauri would be happy with these couple points. He's got some penalties. He might be getting moved.
And he's out. What is going on? Everything is occurring in this Japanese Grand Prix, and it's just unbelievable. It is just crazy in this Grand Prix, in this circuit. I mean, this is why I love commentating in Japan, because it's absolutely crazy to just see Yilmaz so close to Pirlo here, going into Spoon. Surely Yilmaz will get the overtake Pirlo if he can even... Oh, but then you can see Alpha looking for the overtake and a leap in there, side by side, going to the Cassian triangle, and they're still side by side, and a leaping, massive moment on the exit DRS. Finally enabled.
That is
on the final lap here, and now Yilmaz goes side by side here with Pirlo here into the first turn, and it seems like that overtake is done and dusted.
Pirlo's actually on for P5 here. That's if Gemma doesn't catch up soon, but sure with soft tyres and Pirlo being P10's up down to P9. Red Bull almost lost it there. Tekers almost losing it through turn 2. Now again, obviously Bhutan's an AI, so obviously he's doing a lot of promoted upper place from anyone behind him. He's been AI the whole race. So, Mauri looking. Oh, Tekers is gone! He's spanned that Dunlop corner, and Matt's Mauri up into P8.
What is going on in this Grand Prix? The only thing that I can finally have a clear vision of, and that I can actually see that will happen till the end of this Grand Prix, is the fact that Side Effects here in this Grand Prix is most likely going to win the Japanese Grand Prix. He's now into shortly going into Sector 3, and in this Grand Prix he has practically done everything right. Side Effects got P1 inside of the qualifying session. He went on to go for an early and surprising pit stop onto hard set compound tyres. He then hit the backside of his teammates. He will surely get a penalty.
Sorry, Elite STB3, you can't do his line, you have your quotes, but he's going to bash it out.
But here we go! Side Effects round the last turn, and Side Effects wins the Japanese Grand Prix!
Cartel have banged each other off, and they've made a mistake, and Mauri puts another time penalty, and Mauri goes around across the line P6. Everything just happened in the last few laps. Mauri's got some penalties, I think, to remove, so Mauri's, that's not a representative place, but everything's happened. Elite and Cartel just had a moment into the Picasso triangle, and oh my... Just when I thought you could have your little rundown, it just wasn't possible.
Well, the exit of all that absolutely crazy racing at the end of it. The man who takes top of the podium is Side Effects. And shall we get Maldi in for an interview, or do you think he's just too mad?
It's called a podium interview. I don't think you quite get that. I don't think you quite get the memo.
Well, yeah. But speaking of memo, I couldn't get the memo. Memo couldn't get the grip out the last turn because he actually spun going on to the last lap. But anyways, of course, Side Effects wins the Japanese Grand Prix. He's going to get a time penalty, of course, for his incident with Mauri. But I think because Pirlo had 6... Boy, Pirlo P3, what?
Fuck off.
Pirlo? Did he just get P3 in this Grand Prix?
No, there can't be. There's Alpha thing. I was going to say, I was baffled there for a second. I'm like, no. I said, hold on. I don't remember Pirlo being Dutch.
P5. P5.
I was like, what? No way. I said, I don't remember Pirlo being Dutch. I was like, hold on, that doesn't make any sense. I'm pretty sure.
Listen, I'm tired. I've just been absolutely
insane. I can see why you
insane.
would think that, though. The Alpha Romeo, sorry. Oh, don't do that to me. Otherwise, I think I might have a seizure in the middle of the floor.
Papa's got points! Oh my word! What have I
He's got
just seen? That's
P8.
the craziest thing. That's the craziest thing I've seen out of this whole Grand Prix. Papa Devils has got points in
Run
a Grand
down.
Prix, ladies and gentlemen. Absolutely brilliant stuff. It's his first points out of
Side
the
effects
whole
P1,
season.
Elite P2, Alpha Z P3, Pajama P4, Pyro P5, P10 P6. He's not actually P6, he's not finished. Cartels P7, Pepperdew P8, Mandy P9, Antonin P10. And I think it was Panda P11. He was lagging a little bit towards the end.
Papa Devils though, jeez Louise, he's got an actual personal pride. Are we gonna get side effects in for an interview or?
Yes.
Yes.
So I was holding my head in my hands for a second there.
I mean, Manny's gonna be absolutely livid after that Grand Prix. I do not want to. I do not want to join a party with him. I mean, I'm going to because it's entertaining. But he's gonna be absolutely livid after that.
Yeah, obviously I don't think he really speaks really on the control on the headset. And I'm not sure about Elite Ping either. I think he doesn't do much either. So I'll try and get sound effects in at least. If he doesn't join in the next couple of minutes, then obviously we'll call it off there. We'll wait for him to see if he responds.
Matthew, just a little cheeky thing I learnt from my time in a different league from when you're doing interviews. It's actually quite nice to have like the car that like go into the theatre showroom and then have the car that they were driving in on the screen.
I'm sorry.
Well, it's just it's just a nice thing you could do. Maybe Ross Matthew. Anyways, he has joined. So like side effect. All right. I've got a massive question for him because I've got a question for him.
Keep it
so
short.
can you include your audio please, side effects?
Don't do a what was it, the Abu Dhabi guy that just goes on for half an hour.
Yeah.
Right, side effects. You've got your audio input.
I do indeed.
Okay, good to hear. So I've got one question for you, and I'm sure Matthew will as well. But I would just like to recall to that time you actually spun Maldi going into the Casio triangle. What was running through your head after you hit the backside of Maldi and Maldi went round?
Well, on my screen he was lagging side to side quite a lot. So that's why when I think it was the lap before, I think it was just after the safety car, we were going side by side. I had to back out like twice because it just had the icon the whole time, and he was like coming across. I knew he wasn't driving into me because there would be no reason to. We were literally on a straight, but on mine it was like he was driving into me, so I had to back out. So then I'm behind him, and then we're going through to the second last corner. I just broke like normal, thinking I'm gonna get the slipstream on the straight here. Next minute he's going round. And then I thought he would ghost because obviously like I could see he was already in a half spin, so I'm trying to go through him, and then the game's just glitching. I'm like pushing him on my screen. I was pushing him like through the last corner while he was sideways.
Yeah, we saw that as well.
And then it just like it didn't give me any damage. That's what confused me. And then he was round, and I was thinking, oh shit, because he's gonna go mental. And it probably looked, I don't know what it looked like on stream, but
yeah,
it might have.
It looks like
it might have looked like I just hit him up the arse and spun him round. So
yeah, it did look like that.
Oh,
Matt, your question.
Yeah, well, just to add on to that, yeah, sometimes with that disconnection, even when people are ghosting and lagging, but their car's still physically there and they're not ghosting for them, so they get carried along. But for you, there's no contact, you just push them along.
I made sure to brake early, so because I was like, I can't even brake late in that corner anyway, because I always get a bad exit. So I just broke like normal to try and give him space, because I could see the icon was going fucking mental on the top. But yeah, but other than that, I think I got quite good pace. This is one of my worst tracks. So yeah, it was.
I reckon the stewards will award side effects is Wi-Fi with a around 8-second time penalty for that incident.
Was it me? Was I lagging during the race, or was it?
No, it doesn't really seem like it.
Maldi having a couple moments of lag. Not gonna lie, I did see him have a teleportation the moment through the hairpin at one point. But yeah, anything else to add to? Apart from the incident, you went on the soft towards the end, which is everyone else decided to go for the mediums. But
yeah, I thought that was a bit of a mistake.
Obviously, you went on to I think you went on the mediums. I think you went on the hards.
I went on the hards on the first lap.
Yeah, so I thought, it was difficult because obviously the strategy changed. Obviously, I thought it would be hard to go to the end. I wasn't sure that was the plan at first, but yeah, just for
Yeah.
that wet conditions as well. Just so you run down how your start went.
Well, the start was terrible. I think the lights must have went out different on my screen because I the last light went out. I already had about three people pass me. I was like, oh, I don't know what's going on there. And then I did the weather report about halfway through the lap, just thinking, what is it in 5 to 10 minutes time? And he went better box for dries, and I assumed everyone else's
Yeah,
Jeff would get the same message.
it is a bit
So I
like
thought
that.
I might just box it, and if everyone else doesn't, then maybe they'll
Yeah,
box like in a
the
few
game's a bit
laps and I'll
funny.
get past them. But as soon as
Wasn't
I
the
come
case.
out, I was like, oh, it's like I'm on ice here. And I lost about 10 seconds to 19th, so I was like, okay. But it started, the weather started to come to me because I started catching up. I would have been like last if everyone come in, but I think it was like seventh. And then I just went through them all. I honestly don't know where the pace come from because I'm so bad at Japan. It's a joke.
Well, maybe everyone else is in the same boat. So yeah, but yeah, we'll keep the interview there. Obviously, it's been there for quite a while. Getting
All
spam
good.
invites from Maudie as well. So I don't know what he wants to talk about. But yeah, well, that is it done then. That was probably one of the most managed races I've ever seen in the history of commentary so far. It's definitely up there. Probably at least top two. I don't know. And probably might be something else just as interesting in quotation marks. Yeah, thank you very much for watching. It will be no race next week. We've got a break week next week, so no race for the week after. But yeah, Britain will be the next track in almost a fortnight's time for the Tier 1. So come back with them. Enjoy your Easter holidays, and we'll be back with you on the 17th, I believe it is, if my maths is correct. So yeah, welcome to us then. Thank you very much for watching. Goodbye.